there's a lot to it. And I think the key takeaway here is the Alamo is Texas. Hi everyone, welcome to Tigner Adventures. You can see in the background we are at the Alamo, if you didn't really know. But this is the real Alamo. This isn't the one that the movie was done with John Wayne. They actually built a false set outside of San Antonio, and that area is actually closed now. So, but this is the real San Antonio, the Alamo. So we're gonna go in and just kind of check it out and see what's here and everything. So, and there's tours, you know, so we're gonna see what we can find out, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we have gone and registered for an audio tour. So it's this little pamphlet, and it's got this little map inside of the area and what where the little wand works. So it's one of these little wands, just like what we had at Carlsbad. Put the number in there and you listen to what's going on. Behind me here is a monument to the individuals that actually fought here during the siege of the Alamo. And so that's what we're going to be finding out about today and kind of checking out. So this is just some of them. That's Davy Crockett right there to, what's that, left side of my head. So anyway, we're gonna go see what this is all about. It's a pretty popular attraction here, and there's a lot of people here. So this is a replica of the church, or the grounds, the fort. And if you notice here, up in the, they had cannons placed all over the place, but up in the church itself, the church didn't actually have a roof for a long time, and so they built a ramp and they put cannons up at the end of the church. So if you look at it now, you can see that the difference between what the replica shows here and what it is now. So the Daughters of the Republic of Texas are the ones that actually have custodian over the Alamo now, and they've got this nice little gift shop here with all kinds of goodies in it. So as you walk around the grounds, there's posts with numbers on them, and they tell about that particular area of the fort and how it was used during that time. So they have a major renovation going on right now, right behind here. So it looks like they're building a new exhibition hall and collections building. So it's going to be pretty good size. So the museum has a number of artifacts, and it shows the history from the early stages all the way through to the finish. So the Spanish initially owned this whole area, and the big fight with Mexico was to get away from Spanish rule. And the Spanish let the Americans come in and populate Texas area because it was so vast, and they were just trying to get people into the areas. Well, when Mexico broke away from the Spanish, then at that point, then they were all being controlled. It was all being ran by Mexico at that point, and Mexico decided to still allow the Americans to populate these different areas. But then when Santa Anna took over, he made it so that he was basically the one in control of everything, and they took all the control away from the states. So then everyone started rebelling. And so the whole idea of the Alamo was upon principle, and that was of freedom and people being able to say and do the things they wanted to do and not have just one guy dictating everything. So it was a whole different change of the government that Santa Anna tried to put in that started the whole piece of it. And Santa Anna figured that once he had crushed the Alamo and killed, there was 189, I think it was, men, and once he had killed them all, he sent away some of the women and children and told to Sam Houston and said, you know, he figured that by telling them that everyone was dead at the Alamo, that that would have crushed the whole Texan army and Sam Houston would have stopped. But the Alamo became the war cry. And so as they went up against Santa Ana around Houston, Texas, they went in and basically killed off all of Santa Ana's army. And they could hear people saying, "For the Alamo," as they were doing that. And the Texans lost, I think it was like 11 people or something in that war, where the Mexicans lost over 600 or 700 Mexican people were killed, and then later Santa Ana was captured, hiding just on the side of the river somewhere. They picked him up and brought him in, and come to find out it was Santa Ana. So that kind of took care of that whole era of time, and that, so from what Santa Ana thought he had crushed, he had actually given Texas something to rally around and to make them stronger. So the Alamo is Texas. So we have gone through and toured everything. We spent the last couple hours going through this. There's a lot here. Just the museum itself takes probably an hour to go through, and the audio tour is actually pretty good. There's a lot to it, and I think the key takeaway here is the Alamo is Texas. I mean, we lived in Dallas for 3 years, and Texas has a different mindset than a lot of other places. Each state kind of has their own mindset, like they're the best kind of thing, Texas has always believed that they're the biggest and the best, and they're definitely the largest state in the union. I think they're larger than Alaska too, aren't they? I don't know, but anyway, they're big Texas. It takes a long time to cross Texas, and that's what we're working on right now. So anyway, the Alamo is a place that is good to come, and has a lot of history to it. It's kind of interesting how it's progressed over the years. It didn't just start. It started out as a mission, then it became, places where a number of different wars have happened here, and then in the end, this is what they now have it as it's a state park area here that's maintained by the Daughters of the what was it? Revolution, Texas Revolution. And so anyway, it's maintained by them just to show everybody the history of Texas. It's well worth coming. The audio tour is pretty intense, and there's a lot to it. So it's well worth the $9, which gets you into the museum also. So if you consider that the museum entrance is $5 by itself, an extra $4 and you got the audio tour. So, but if you want to save money, like we did, we just did one $9 audio piece, and we shared it. Yeah, we shared it. So only one could go into the museum at a time, but other than that, we saved some money. So it was fun.
It's a beautiful place to sit out here.
Yeah, and
it's
actually,
a beautiful day.
You can only one at a time can go in the museum, but as far as the grounds, the audio is loud enough that you really could just put it up to both your ears and listen to it if you wanted to. But anyway, a lot of fun. So from here, we're going to take off over to the Riverwalk. All right, we are entering the Riverwalk, and if you look, it's down below the Main Street level. All right, we are at the Riverwalk. We are down at the Riverwalk, I should say. It's lightly sprinkling, kind of comes on and off, just fitting here and there. But anyway, we're going to just kind of meander down through the whole area here a little bit, all around town. You can see by this map that the river is a big portion of the downtown. It just kind of goes back and forth. So we're going to walk through here and just kind of check out some things. It's mainly different storefronts and missions and things like that. So we're going to kind of see what it's all about, and we're going to video for you what it's all about. All right, we are on the Go Rio tour. This is a tour boat that runs around the horseshoe shape of the Riverwalk here.
My name is Jeremy, and as we sail along through here, I do have some very important safety rules. First stop for our tour is just across from where we departed from at the Hilton Palacio Dorio Hotel to the left of our boat. Now, if you look up to the right of the boat here, you'll see this big metal sculpture. It was put up here in April of last year of these two giant metal flowers that were built using spare bicycle parts. This right here is a sculpture that's named Blue. It was designed by a local artist down here named Letitia Werko.
Well, we are back to home sweet home.
And we are tired.
Been a big day. We wanted to do one more thing, but just doing the Alamo, that took almost 3 hours by the time we got done. And then we did the Riverwalk, which was another about an hour and a half. So that made it a pretty long day. One thing about the Riverwalk, do not need to go to the bathroom.
Can't never find a bathroom.
We could not figure out the signs. We talked to 2 or 3 different people.
I swear they just...
They go, oh, you go there, and it's like we go there, and nope, no bathrooms. I mean, we finally went into a museum, and the guy could see our desperation, decided to let us go to the bathroom. It was like, my heck, what the heck? So,
said, oh, you better come right back out.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes, you're going in the museum, right? And it's like, is it free? He goes, no, it's $12. It's like,
no.
There was a sign out front that said free entrance. She goes, oh,
for military.
That's for a free magazine. It's like,
no,
what?
Military. Oh, well, there's a magazine.
No, there was a magazine free too. So anyway, it was all a mess. But anyway, hey, we're done. We got back. Don't drink a lot of water if you want to go on the Riverwalk.
There's a lot of water around there.
But it was fun. It was fun. I thought the Alamo was really, really interesting. Just the way that it all came about and everything. There's way too much history there. I mean, that's like a semester of study just on the Alamo. All the stuff going on between Mexico and the Spanish and the U.S. and everything. So anyway,
that would have been the way to learn it.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there in school, you should just go to it.
And they did mention that there's been a lot of movies done on the Alamo, and some are pretty good and close to what really happened, and others are just kind of all make believe. So you just never know. And as far as I know, history is kind of that way anyway, because it's like they change it from year to year, just depending on how they feel, I guess. But anyway, it was interesting, and it's a cool area. So anyway, we're done. We're done with San Antonio. We've been staying here at this Elks Lodge, and they've got a pretty nice little setup here and everything. They've been really nice, and the lodge itself has been closed for, it was open the first day we got here, but they had a big party, so nothing really happened the whole time we've really been here. But the people here camping have been a lot of fun and very, very nice. So anyway, with that said, I think we'll just go ahead and close out this video. So I could ask you, what was your favorite part today? Getting home?
McDonald's fries.
Yeah, we did go to McDonald's and got an iced coffee and some fries. It was a long day.
He never prepares me for these long days. He just says, oh, we're just going to go there, and I didn't wear good shoes, and I didn't bring anything to drink, and I'm dying. And
it ended up being a lot longer than I had planned and everything too. So anyway, well, okay, with that said, I'm not going to ask you next time. So thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on our next video, or maybe in person. Okay, well, take care.